Let's get to work. Let's get to work, dog. Let's get to work. Let's get to work, baby. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? I know we early today. We early. We early. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Let's get back to it. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? You won't let me go live, but we got it. We back on. We back on, baby. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? How you doing? I'm good. I'm good. How you doing? How you doing? Happy Friday to my people, man. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. I think I'm gonna do 2 in a row. I think I'm gonna do 2 lives in a row. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? I just want to talk about, man, what's just give y'all a little update what's going on with the Karmelo Anthony trial, man. Just give y'all an update. First we gonna read first. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We here for it. Oh yeah, gotta give y'all an update, man. Like I say, they want us to hold on, I'm trying to set the fan out right quick. They want us to just move on from they want us to just move on from Karmelo, but we ain't letting that happen. Let's go Knicks. Shout out to the Knicks, dog. Cool, thank you. So I just saw this and I said, you know what? Let me update my people. The Karmelo Anthony case has taken another turn after a new judge was assigned to decide whether the judge who presided over Anthony's trial should remain on the case for post-trial proceedings. Anthony's attorneys are asking for a new trial, arguing that comments made by the trial judge after the verdict demonstrated bias and that issues surrounding pretrial agreements affected the defense's strategy. And I told y'all, man, just go back and watch my videos and watch the live I did. I'm gonna show the interview the judge did. But I told y'all that this was gonna happen. Dude did a whole interview. What judge you know does an interview about a trial right after the trial, dog? And then says, I hope the Metcalf family got some justice. Bruh, he was biased the whole time. The whole time. So, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, Karmelo will get a new trial, dog. And I'm gonna be real. If it wasn't for the content creators, not just me, a lot of black content creators who was speaking up for Karmelo, they would have just let him get 35 years and just move on with life. You feel me? What up with you, big homie? What's popping? What's popping? Now I'm just updating y'all on this Karmelo trial, man. This new trial. I saw this, so I say, you know what? Let me just update my people before I do my next live. You know, because we going live again after this. You know, your commentaries lead all the other podcasters. Thanks for your. Hey, I appreciate you. Appreciate that. Shout out to them too. You know, shout out to them. They putting in work, man. They putting in work. I just want to update my people. You know what's going on. Anthony's attorney are asking for a new trial, arguing that comments. Okay, we read that. Prosecutors strongly dispute those claims and say the defense has misrepresented what happened. The newly assigned judge will determine whether the original judge should step aside before those post-trial motions move forward. Oh shit! I didn't mean to press that shit. So the U.S. Okay, as a comment, so that the original trial. So they trying to get rid of Judge Roach, but another judge has to decide. So we go see what this new judge say. That's the crazy part, man. We have to depend on people. We don't know if they all are part of the KKK. We have to depend on another judge who might be his homie or whatever, you know? If I'm lying, put it in my comment section. You already know. Hey, man, I know I keep telling y'all we got a video coming tomorrow, but tomorrow, I promise y'all, bro, we have a video. And I'm getting up early in the morning. It's already ready. It's already ready, man. I'm waking up in the morning, we doing a video. I just been doing these lives, bro, because the Nolan situation, it's so much information, bro, that it's just better to go, you know, live. So, but we got a video dropping tomorrow morning. Today we doing this live, then right after this one we got another live. Hey, we working, bro. We working. They do what they want to do in their protected spaces. They just wanted to convict him so they can come back and say they was already just convicted. Hey, no such thing. No such thing as oh shit. No such thing as be as content creator, influencer. Y'all just people online telling them all the business to make their job easier. New age about time. Hey, shout out to you, dog. That's your opinion. If I'm lying, who telling the truth? They all friends. That's the cold part. Nephew coming home real soon. I pray. Oh yeah, man. So let's go to this. This was yesterday. Like I said, I gotta keep y'all updated. This was yesterday.
In prison on a murder conviction for stabbing Austin Metcalf last year. Karmelo Anthony's appeal. He's serving 35 years in prison on a murder conviction for stabbing Austin Metcalf last year. One of his new attorneys just told us why they're asking a judge to order a new trial. Kevin Reese walks us through those claims and how prosecutors are responding.
5 lawyers and judges at St. Luke United Methodist Church in East Dallas explaining to an audience how juries are selected, an event motivated in part by the trial of Karmelo Anthony and his murder conviction without a black person on his jury.
Fair juror to the defendant and the plaintiff.
One of these lawyers is Russell Wilson, the new appeals attorney for Karmelo Anthony.
But we understand that there's 2 sides to every story, but we feel confident in the positions that we're taking.
Their position is that Anthony should get a new trial. They say Judge John Roach, who presided over the case, should be recused based on comments he made after the trial.
We believe that based off of the interview that was done, that he could not be fair and impartial.
And allege that limits on how many people could attend the trial the speed of that trial, and unrecorded agreements or gentlemen's agreements between.
This was the definition of railroading, dog. It was no black jurors. I think it was only 27 people allowed in the courtroom. You know, all type of stuff they created, bro, to give him 35 years in 7 days. 35 years in 7 days, dog. Oh Lord, he writing paragraphs now. You gotta go, bro. You gotta go. You writing paragraphs now, bro. Go start your own YouTube channel. And then vent. Don't vent to me. Be a man. Don't vent to me. Go start your own YouTube channel. And then you can talk. And see if somebody listening to you. What the hell, Yante? It's Friday. What you mad for? Okay. Yeah. He was railroaded. They did everything to railroad him, and they made it so quick to where now he got to fight for his freedom. They made the trial so. When did they ever have shit on a Saturday, bro? They was in court on the weekend, dog, to get Karmelo in prison. They want to be a rock star, like. I don't know what's wrong with him, man. I ain't never heard of a court. It's crazy. They did everything they can do to get him in prison for 35 years. But they were so arrogant about it. Hold on. Let's finish this.
Between attorneys about what testimony would be possible were completely followed, impacting Anthony's decision not to testify in his own defense.
We're arguing that the dispute regarding the agreement did impact the outcome of the trial. Yeah.
The Collin County DA's office sent this statement. The defendant's new lawyers have filed a motion containing several inaccurate characterizations of the trial proceedings. I and the entire prosecution team conducted this trial ethically and in full compliance with the court's rulings and in the agreements with defense counsel. The next step, Senior Judge Sid Harrell, who presided over the Uvalde school shooting case, is now assigned to consider if Anthony gets a new judge and possibly a new trial. In Dallas, I'm Kevin Reese.
Only hoods could do that and get away with it. White hoods are living. I know it's two different states and trials, but it's night and day energy from them between Karmelo case and Nolan. It's crazy. But you see how the law works in any state. So that's why people tell me, oh, I'm moving to this state. I'm moving to that state. It's too racist. I'm like, bro, it's like that everywhere when you black. It's like that everywhere, dog. They railroaded him, and they made sure they didn't show us the trial. They made sure they only limited the people in the court to only 27 people. They did all this on purpose, bro. But one thing they didn't expect, even when we tired, bro, they didn't expect us to be online every single day. They thought they can get celebrity news to distract us. We don't care about celebrities no more, bro. We don't care. We don't give a damn about celebrities no more. You feel me? They thought they could distract us with these rappers beefing. Bro, I don't give a damn who 50 Cent beefing with. I don't give a damn who NBA YoungBoy beefing with. I don't give a damn, bro. Those people really, bro, they don't speak on shit for real. So why we even care about them? For the first time in a long time, bro, it's nothing that can really distract us, man. If you really look at it, we locked in. For the first time in a long time, it's nothing that can really distract us, man. And they don't like that shit. They didn't expect this. They was trying to play chess, but they was really playing checkers. They underestimated our energy. You feel me? Appreciate you, Designs. Are very telling and very Definitely have a fight on their hands. Facts. You took my wrench away. Oh, my bad. My bad, pilot. As a moderator. My bad, big dog. It's very telling. It's very popping. So because he did, hold on one second. Uh, because the judge did this interview, bro, and I told y'all on a live before. They didn't expect that to leave Mississippi. That's a fact. I'm just giving y'all a little update, man, on Karmelo Anthony. You know, before we get to our next live.
You spell it.
My name is John Roach, John.
Can we talk about some of the drawings of
Sure,
you during the
sure.
sketch show? At least identified as African American on their bioforms. What did you make of it?
We can do that. That's great. The influence of social media, I think, is going to continue to impact our communities everywhere. And I hope that we can rely upon our justice system to weed through the noise and find justice for everybody who comes through our doors.
This is a personal question I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
Do you understand why the legitimate media had to be a pain in your ass?
Legitimate media. There's this guy named Jobin who I think was probably make him happy either. I hope that the Metcalfs think that their son got a fair trial in this courtroom.
You hear that? A judge should never, in the words of Smokey, ever do an interview right after a trial where he was the judge. Dude, this interview alone, 18 minutes and 37 seconds, dog. This interview alone should be all they need to give Karmelo a retrial. This how arrogant they are, bruh. This how arrogant they are, especially in Texas. The racist Caucasian people in Texas, bruh, they feel like Texas not even a part of America, bruh. To racist people, Texas is its own country, bruh. I think they did something to try to get Texas to like break apart from America. I think they did something like recently. So for him to do this interview, bro, that shows you how arrogant they are. And not just the interview. Hold on. Where's the hand gestures? Hold on. It's at the end. I remember it's at the end. Here we go. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. Right there. Look. That's a fact. His name fits him perfectly. Roach. Look at the hand gestures. They talk in code, dog. But this interview alone, Karmelo should get a retrial. And that's the power of the ancestors, dog. They would use your enemies to give you a second chance. By him doing this interview, he just gave Karmelo a second chance. If he would never did this interview, out of everything they did, it would have still been hard for him to get a retrial. But by this judge doing this interview and saying Karmelo is a criminal, he committed a crime, he hoped the Metcalf family feel like they got justice, bruh, this is enough evidence to give Karmelo a retrial. The ancestors will use your enemies to give you a second chance. Boy. If you know, you know. How many of y'all went through that? Your enemy, they thought they was gonna bury you, but they gave you a second chance. Come on, bro. If you know, you know. If you know, you know, bro. Their arrogance, see, people's arrogance can give you a second chance. Ain't that crazy? Not just Karmelo, I'm talking about everybody. Your ops, your enemies, arrogance, and them underestimating you can give you a second chance, bro. That's why I say, man, it's never over, dog. It's never over. That's why I'm always talking about like never giving up. Like even content creators speaking on this. I feel like without the content creators, bro, they would have let Carmelo get 35 years. They would have just moved on. But because of all the content creators that were standing up, even the Caucasian ones who was using their privilege to speak up for Carmelo, that's the reason why Carmelo is getting a second chance, bro. Didn't think his family cared for him and they couldn't reach. Nah, we got that reach. Come on, bro. Come on, say it again. God is going to pay a wicked people. Come on. Y'all know when Carmelo fought, now it's going to, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I believe they call this a conflict of interest. That's a fact. That's where they brutally murdered James Byrd. Remember that? Yep. And we are protecting him. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, look, I talk to people that got people that's working, you know, in that prison he's in. He's good. He's good. And like I say, because of this interview, and I broke it down, I'm not going to break it down today, but I broke it down in another live that I did. Because this interview, Carmelo is going to get a new trial, dog. I'm telling you. Then they ain't come with one attorney. They ain't come with two attorneys. They ain't come with three. They ain't come with four. They came with 6. I told y'all, bro. These small towns, these racist sundown towns, they don't like attention, bro. They hate attention. They love to commit racism and sweep it under the rug. The same way in Mississippi, Ocean Springs, Mississippi. They don't like this attention, bro. They don't like this. And this is international attention, not just from America. It's all over. Because everybody can see what's going on, man. Everybody. And you have to speak on it. You know, so that's why I'm always telling my people, no matter what you do on with your platform, I don't care if you cook, I don't care whatever you do, man. As long as you speaking up for your people, you doing the right thing. You doing the right thing. Because trust me, if the tables were reversed and it was all black boys on that boat with a Caucasian boy, trust me, your pastor, your kids' teachers, your doctors, they would all be making posts saying those black boys should be in prison. All of them. All of them. So never be scared to speak up for your people, because trust me, when the tables turn, everybody you think not like that, they like that. Trust me. If you know, you know. They don't have to sweep it under the rug in their towns. That's a fact. Oh, no, they do. Trust me. Like I say, after this live, we're going live again. We're going live again. Like I say, today I was going to take off, but, man, it's up. I already took my little walk for the day, got me some sun. I'm good. Always be a voice. That's a fact. They were trying to do him. Yeah. Jelane, I think that was in what? In Illinois? Black people don't act like, come on, man. So like I say, because he did this interview, I know he regret this interview, bro. Because he did this interview, dog, Carmelo will get a retrial. You can't do that as a judge. You can't be a judge of a trial and then right after do an interview about that trial. So the whole time you was biased. The whole time, like they said, they made a deal so Carmelo couldn't get on the stand and testify. They made a whole deal, bruh. And you think those racist judges in Collin County about to beat those racist attorneys? You think they're about to beat those 6 attorneys, bro? They not. They about to find everything we found. They go find. What's your next live about? It's gonna be about Nolan Wells and the I think her name was Aubrey, the Caucasian young teen who's committed the S word because she was getting bullied, and they swept it under the rug. You know, that's why they can kill us and still trust us with their lives. They know that savagery is in there. That's a fact. That's a fact. But because he did this interview, dog, he's cooked. Hold on.
You're invited to join Phoenix Energy's next webinar, where you an offering for accredited investment.
Again tonight in Karmelo Anthony's appeal, he's serving 35 years in prison on a murder conviction for stabbing Austin Metcalf last year. One of his new attorneys just told us why they're asking a judge to order a new trial. Kevin Reese walks us through those claims and how prosecutors are responding.
5 lawyers and judges at St. Luke United Methodist Church in East Dallas explaining to an audience how juries are selected, an event motivated in part by the trial of Karmelo Anthony and his murder conviction without a black person on his jury.
Think about that. With these raccoons and racist people, they love to try to make it make sense of why it wasn't no black Americans on the juror. But everybody else was, but not one black American. What that tells you? What that tells you, bruh? Whatever your gut feeling tells you, that's the truth. Whatever your gut feeling tells you, that's the truth. That was by design. Yeah. You tell me not one black American was a juror for this black American teenager. Come on, bro. You can't, I don't care how much you try to explain it to me. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. And then for them to do that in 7 days and then go to court on a Saturday, it don't make sense. And we didn't see the trial on TV. And you had, only 27 people allowed in the courtroom. You feel me?
Juror to the defendant and the plaintiff.
One of these lawyers is Russell Wilson, the new appeals attorney for Karmelo Anthony.
But we understand that there's 2 sides to every story, but we feel confident in the positions that we're taking.
Their position is that Anthony
What's
should
poppin',
get
Terry?
a new trial. They say Judge John Roach, who presided over the case, should be recused based on comments he made after the trial.
This Roach, it was tripping. Roach was tripping. He really thought he could rub it in our face, dog, and get away with it. He didn't expect for them to get those 6 attorneys pro bono. He didn't expect that. He didn't expect our people to stay with this story every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and all over again. They didn't expect that, bro. They thought we was just gonna let it be and he get 35 years. No, they thought we was gonna get out in the streets and protest and burn up buildings, burn up cars. No, them days over with. We playing the game smart now. We using social media to benefit us now. No, we're not burning down buildings no more. We using social media to benefit us now. We doing the hard work now. We looking into y'all paperwork now. We looking into y'all Facebook pages now. It's no more marching. No more burning up buildings. We working. We working. How long you been live? What, 30 minutes? Everything and everyone are being exposed for the world to see. Keep exposing, give thanks to you and all. Hey, appreciate you, appreciate you. Oh, it's a must. Like I say, these people, they love to position themselves. Like I say, they are part of the KKK. So they love to position themselves as judges, attorneys, so they can put most of our people in prison. But when their people commit crimes like Caucasian cops, when they unalive black people in Texas, they get to go home or they get manslaughter. But Karmelo stabbed somebody allegedly out of self-defense and they gave him 35 years. But them cops in Texas always shooting people. They either get manslaughter, I'm talking about 4 or 5 years, if that, or they get sent home. It's always manslaughter. It's only you never hear first degree murder unless it's a black person, bro. And if I'm lying, just tell me I'm lying. You never hear manslaughter unless you never hear first degree murder unless it's a black person. They tried to give Karmelo first degree murder at 17 years old. That's how cold the game is. Then they set his bond. Do y'all remember when they first gave him a bond? $1 million. But the other boys pushed, what his name is, Daniel Irvin, in that water and he drowned. They bond was $10,000. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And then you come back and arrest them, but they don't get arrested for murder. They get arrested for tampering. Why you think they tampering with evidence? Because they committed a crime. And then the man with the business, he said he had the proof. He had video evidence on his security cameras. And the cops didn't even give a damn. They didn't even care. That's why I'm always telling y'all, dog, they all on the same team. The pen is much mightier than the sword. Now add the Geek Squad and it much better getting business exposure. Black tax, that's a fact. See, they expected us to, when they gave them 35 years, they wanted a reason to put us in prison and unalive us. So they expected us to go out in the streets of Texas, of Dallas, and just go crazy, like people did with George Floyd. But they don't know we have evolved. We go hit you where it hurt. We coming for that pension. We gonna make videos about you for however long it takes. We go read the paperwork now. Now you got content creators reading paperwork. Come on, bro. At first, we went from setting buildings on fire. They wanted that. They wanted us to do that so they can lock us up and have a reason to say, oh, look at these thugs. Now we say, you know what? We go sit back and go through y'all paperwork. And we go force these judges to represent Karmelo. That's what happened with Karmelo, bro. It was the content creators. Them judges got online and they saw, oh, they making sense. Let's go represent them for free. Let's go represent Karmelo for free. Come on, bro. But you got people mad at us. Oh, y'all just doing this for money. Y'all, bro, we working. Content creators are working. Now I see the ones who just using other people's content to react and shit, and they not giving commentary. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the content creators who reading, who really, we working, bro. And they didn't expect that, man. They wanted to set buildings on fire. They wanted to set cars on fire so they can have an excuse to attack us. They been trying to bait us in, bro. But we not falling for it. They used the fake Black Panthers earlier this year. Or was that last year? either I think it was the end of last year or earlier this year. They used the fake Black Panthers to try to bait us in. That didn't work. They used Charleston White to try to bait us in. I got a video about him tomorrow. We got him tomorrow. You know, I've been putting it off, but today I just finished it, and we got him tomorrow. You know, but they've been waiting, bruh, to bait us in, and it's not working. It's not, we keep doing the opposite of what they think we go do every single time. The people in Mississippi, they didn't expect us to go this hard for Nolan every day. Every day. And they don't like that shit. These sundown towns, they don't like attention, bruh. They don't like attention. Haha. A kid in Texas unalived his 3 friends on the back of his truck while drunk and only got probation. I'm telling you. That happened in Louisiana, bruh. Her name, I want y'all to go, hold on. I gotta find that shit though. Hold on. What his name was? His name was, fuck. I ain't gonna be able to find that shit. But, white kid back in 2023, 2024. It was her name was Brianna. She was going to Southern University. She was going to be a lawyer. She was going out with her friends, and I think it was off Sherwood in Baton Rouge. She was crossing the street, bro. The dude sped up and he hit her. They said she flew so far, her body flew to the next street, dog. And he turned himself in. He turned himself in 4 days later because he was drunk. His bond was only $300. They went to court. And the judge only gave him 3 years probation. And he had to pay like a $5,000 fine. And her mother passed out in the courtroom, bro. Passed out in a courtroom, dog. Now, this was a young woman who was going to be an attorney, bro, for her family. And he murdered her, bro. He sped up when he hit her. And he turned himself in 4 days later because he was drinking. Bonded out hours after for only $300. This the racism we go through. And even in Baton Rouge, see, we don't have content creators who speak on this type of shit. I was way in New York speaking on that. I was way in New York speaking on stuff that was going on in Baton Rouge, bro. Baton Rouge wide open for content creators to speak on stuff. Because there's so much racism going on that it never gets out. Black women down in these, being murdered in these hospitals while in labor. I can go even further because I ain't go. Hold on. Let's see. His name was Jacob Nash. There we go. See, I be remembering shit. I ain't do this shit since last year. Jacob Nash. I remember this shit. Here we go.
In life, growth doesn't.
Here we go. I never forget them names, dog.
Well, a Scottsville County District Court's jury has found a local man guilty of first-degree forcible sexual assault.
It's not
31-year-old
him.
Jacob Lefthand of Scottsville.
It's not him. His name Jacob Nash. Let's find it. Jacob Nash. One second. We got to find the article and then we go find the video. Here we go. Shut up. That's him right there. That's him right there. And he hit, her name was Bree. What a picture at. Where the picture at? We gonna find it. Hold on. Bree Collins. There you go. She was walking to go out with her friends. He sped up and he hit her, bro, and murdered her. I gotta find the video. Bree Collins. Sherwood. Thank y'all for bearing with me. Jacob Nash. See, I did a video about it 1 year ago. I want to find the news. Yeah, since I can't find it, I'm gonna click on my video.
People, they look like they down for us.
Hold on. One second. Where is the news?
$1,000. How?
This is what he got. He got probation for a hit and run. And he had to pay a $5,000 restitution, 200 hours of community service for murder. And this happened in Baton Rouge. This happened in Baton Rouge. For hitting her. I know I played news. I don't think I was playing news articles back then. This young woman, bro. Let's see. I ain't gonna find it. But yeah, like I say. Yeah, I don't think back then I was playing like articles, news videos and stuff like that. Here you go. In an emotional courtroom scene Wednesday, Sharonda Plain, that's her mother, the grieving mother of Bree Collins, faced the man responsible for her daughter's death in a fatal hit and run incident. Jacob Nash, 22, pleaded guilty. When have you heard somebody ever pleaded guilty and they only got for murder, and they only got probation and community service? Pleaded guilty to charges of hit and run resulting in death, but avoided jail time when Judge Gail Hornray sentenced him to probation. 3 years of probation, dog. That's all he got. That's all he got. He hit her. He fled the scene. He did nothing at all to help. You turn yourself in. Look, I don't be lying to y'all. He turned. It's just some cases I don't forget, bro. Some cases I did, I just don't forget. You turn yourself in 4 days later. You didn't try to call in for assistance for her, she said. Nearly 19 months later, the justice system delivered what Collins' family felt was a devastating blow. Probationary sentence for a crime that carried a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. He didn't even get the minimum. He didn't even get the minimum, bro. Her mother said, "My child's career has been cut short. My child was getting ready to pursue something to help others. Yes, you took something that I love dearly, that I would never see again until later on in life on Judgment Day. You have hurt me and you have hurt my family very dearly. You have taken away our dream. Every family has one person that wants to be something. You have taken away my family lawyer. Now, I'm talking about this because I'm just telling y'all the importance of Black American content creators, bro. Because if we don't report on some stuff, it'll never get out. If we don't report on some stuff, it'll never get talked about. I was way in New York talking about this, dog. Nobody back home was speaking on it. Well, people were speaking on like Facebook, reposting stuff, but content creators wasn't making content about this, man. That's why I say I'm proud of my people now, because you see more and more of our people, whether they on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, everybody's speaking up now, bro. And I love that shit because they didn't expect this. You know? They didn't expect this. This the stuff they get away with in small towns, bro. In Mississippi, I promise you, you know how many Caucasian people that have murdered Black people, whether it was on purpose or by mistake or whatever? You know how many of them, bro, just have to pay a restitution fee and do community service and get probation, bro, because the color of their skin? This dude pled guilty to a hit and run that resulted in a death. And you see how they word shit? They don't say murder. They said a hit and run that results in a death. They changed up the wording. But when Karmelo was defending himself, first degree murder, $1 million bond. Dude, bond was only $300. You can't make this shit up, bruh. Let's go back to history. So when you see stuff like this, I say sometimes the ancestors, God, whatever, hey, whatever you own, or both, sometimes they can use your enemies to give you a second chance.
Hello, Anthony's appeal.
And this is proof. The ancestors are using the judge to give Karmelo a second chance. His racism just gave Karmelo a second chance. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Come on, man.
He's serving 35 years in prison on a murder conviction for stabbing Austin Metcalf last year. One of his new attorneys just told us why they're asking a judge to order a new trial. Kevin Reese walks us through those claims and how prosecutors have responded.
5 lawyers and judges at St. Luke United Methodist Church in East Dallas explaining to an audience how juries are selected, an event motivated in part by the trial of Karmelo Anthony and his murder conviction without a Black person on his jury.
Fair juror to the defendant and the plaintiff.
One of these lawyers is Russell Wilson, the new appeals attorney for Karmelo Anthony.
But we understand that there's two sides to every story, but we feel confident in the positions that we're taking.
Their position is that Anthony should get a new trial. They say Judge John Roach, who presided over the case, should be recused based on comments he made after the trial.
We believe that based off of the interview that was done, that he could not be fair and impartial.
And allege that limits on how many people could attend the trial, the speed of that trial, and unrecorded agreements or gentlemen's agreements between attorneys about what testimony would be admissible weren't completely followed, impacting Anthony's decision not to testify in his own defense.
We're arguing that the dispute regarding the agreement did impact the outcome of the trial. Yeah.
The Collin County DA's office sent this statement. The defendant's new lawyers have filed a motion containing several inaccurate characterizations of the trial proceedings. I and the entire prosecution team conducted this trial ethically and in full compliance with the court's rulings and in the agreements with defense counsel. The next step, senior judge Sid Harrell, who presided over the Uvalde school shooting case, is now assigned to consider if Anthony gets a new judge and possibly a new trial. In Dallas, I'm Kevin Reese.
You see? Without the content creators, man, that's been standing up for Karmelo, and there's other cases and stuff like our people have to speak on, you know, but I get it. You know, it's social media, and a lot of people, they not gonna look in them small towns and cover every fucking thing. They just not gonna do that. But they didn't expect our people to stick together like this. They thought we was gonna go outside and just cause chaos. No. We read now. We reading articles. We breaking stuff down. You got people on live screens for 5-6 hours breaking shit down. Come on. Come on. That's why they hate it. They want you to, no, everybody should just sit back and wait for the truth. Sit back and... You know what that mean, huh? They gonna feed you some bullshit. Sit back and wait for the truth to come out. But when something happened to Austin Metcalf, ain't nobody sit back. Every day, Fox News had that family on there, and they was just making up shit. Hunter Metcalf, oh, I turned around and I didn't see the stabbing. You saw the stabbing because Hunter Metcalf, it's your fault that Austin got stabbed. Austin got stabbed because of his brother Hunter. That's why when you see Hunter in pictures now, hold on, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Hunter is the reason his brother is gone. That's why when you see him now, he looked like this.
At Blaine Farm and Fleet, we know inspiration's in full swing this time of year. So bring us your wild idea.
I am being told that now there is someone,
Attorney's office.
When you see him now, he looked like this. That's the face of a victim. That's the face of guilt. That's the face of regret. That's the face of, damn, I done fucked up. That's not the face of a victim, dog. Because he admitted his brother Austin always got him out of a jam, whether he was right or whether he was wrong. So Austin came to his defense to see what was going on. And he was the one that caused that, bruh. His brother was still, hold on, I'm putting my phone on charge. His brother would still be here if it wasn't for him. And that's the face of regret. That's the face of guilt. I mean, if I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. He said it. He said, whether I'm right or wrong, Austin will always take up for me. Austin always came to be the peacemaker. That's the face of, damn, it should have been me and not my brother. Nope, he not. It was Austin. Austin was the mother's favorite. That's the face of jealousy. That's the face of regret. That's the face of guilt. It ain't the face of a victim, dog. It ain't. Shit crazy, man. 35 years and 7 days. And then you got to step back and think about it, too. I'm going to just do this live today, y'all. Tomorrow, I think I'll do another live after I do my video tomorrow, because I really ain't mean to stay this long on this live, but we gotta break it down. After 30, they gave Karmelo 35 years, but you have to go back to the evidence. Matter of fact, let's go back to the evidence. Bro, I need to start using. Okay, here we go. Evidence. Karmelo. The knife. I want to see the knife. Now look, if Karmelo would have used this knife to stab somebody, why wasn't there any blood on Karmelo's hands? It was no blood on his hands. It was no blood on his jacket. No blood. So you start to step back and think, did Karmelo really stab? Because if you stab somebody, bruh, you gonna at least have blood on the back of your hands. He had no blood on the back of his hands, bro. There's no evidence presented in this case. Therefore, he could not have not been a reasonable. Come on. Come on. It was no evidence, no witnesses for to speak on behalf of Karmelo. Nothing. It was railroad. He was railroaded. It was no blood on his jacket. Nothing. I don't even think they presented no evidence, bro. Like, hold on. The murder, they didn't even have the murder. Come on, bro. When somebody murders somebody, you supposed to take that weapon. You supposed to match DNA. You supposed to do all that. They didn't do none of that stuff, bro. This is why I'm saying Karmelo is about to get a retrial. They didn't do none of that stuff. The only thing they did was persuade the racist Caucasian people and some of the raccoons, because we do have a lot of raccoons in our community, that Karmelo did this. They used the media to create a narrative. That's the only thing they did, bro. Besides that, they didn't do anything. Karmelo defended himself. Damn, that's a fact. He really did. It was 4 against 1. Yeah, we saw the video, you know? And then this how you know it's all racism, bro. This how you know. They released the footage. They waited a whole year to release the footage on Juneteenth. They released the footage on Juneteenth. Bet. Every part was clear except the part we needed to see. Everything else was clear. The only part wasn't clear was the altercation. How ironic. He get a new trial. They did everything wrong in that trial. That's a fact. That's a fact. They did everything wrong, bro. Anybody with common sense can see that, you know? So that's a fact. I think he did it. I think it was 100% self-defense. If he did, I believe that too. I'm glad Melo's still alive. Me too. Me too. Because when we found out what happened to Nolan, see, Karmelo, he was like, fuck that. I'm not even taking that chance. I'm not even taking that chance. At least he's still breathing. Hunter, I told you. Karmelo might be in a physical prison. I can read their body language and I can read everything about them, bro. It's like, damn, yeah, I know my sons are demons, but they still her sons. And it's like a regret, bro. And then hold on. Let me show y'all something else. Hold on. This how you know Karmelo get a new trial. Hold on. 1 second. Metcalf brothers arrested. I forgot about this. Arrested. Come on, baby. Here we go. Is it volume? Okay. This after the trial. Mike Howard reveals the Metcalf twins were arrested for racist graffiti and had a history of violence and bullying. You can't make this shit up. Hold on. If the prosecution did not call any of these witnesses, the defense was ready to call them during the defense's case in chief and question them as hostile witnesses. Furthermore, the defense intended to call witnesses familiar with Austin and Hunter Metcalf's reputation for violence and bullying. The defense intended to call witnesses who themselves were victims of the Metcalf twins' violence and bullying. The defense intended to question Memorial High School teachers about the Metcalf twins' disciplinary history contained in their school records, which cooperated with their character for violence and bullying. And finally, the defense intended to elicit testimony about the Metcalf twins' arrest and racist graffiti. Look at this shit. How you got arrested in high school for being racist and violent, but the dad got on, Jeff Metcalf got on TV talking like their sons was just angels. You getting arrested in high school? Graffiti? Violence and bullying? See, that day, the bully ran across the wrong person. He ran across the wrong person. Exactly. I agree with that. As soon as he did what he did, they had his picture all over the news. But I thought the news don't show minors who commit crimes. They had it all. Matter of fact, they tried to give him first-degree murder, but I think he was too young. And they set his bond for $1 million at 17 for self-defense. Make it make sense. For self-defense, make it make sense. That day, they ran into the wrong person, trying to bully the wrong person. And it cost them. But they didn't talk about this during the trial. That's why the trial was so fast, bruh. Mike Howard should have been talked about. Still here and C put an 8 in the chat. I don't think they have murder degrees in Texas. It's just one charge. They wanted to give him the death penalty, but he's too young. That's a fact. I remember that. They want to give him the death penalty, dog. Think about that. At 17. You can't make this shit up. According to 193-page court filing, Karmelo's defense says the jury never heard evidence they were prepared to present about Austin and Hunter Metcalf's alleged history, aggression, bullying, violence, and racism. The defense says an off-the-record agreement. Look, the defense says an off-the-record agreement with prosecutors prevented both sides from introducing character and misconduct evidence. Because of the agreement, defense attorneys say they did not question student witnesses about statements describing Austin as aggressive, easily triggered, unwilling to tolerate disrespect, and previously involved in fights. The filing also says the defense planned to call alleged victims of the Metcalf twins' bullying and violence, question teachers about disciplinary records. I gotta find out, because somebody sent me the email that they got with the cheerleaders complaining about these two. Got them. They got all this new, well, it was old evidence, but they made a deal, bro, so they couldn't talk about this. Come on, bro. Look. They made a deal. Look. The defense intended to question Memorial High teachers about the Metcalf twins' disciplinary history contained in their school records, which corroborated their character for violence and bullying. And finally, the defense intended to elicit testimony about the Metcalf twins' arrest for racist graffiti. I know what they came up there and told Karmelo. Move, nigga. That's what they told him. It's like, move, nigga. This ain't your spot. That's what they told Karmelo. And if you go online and look at Austin Metcalf's pictures, bro, you can tell he tried to cosplay like he was black. He wanted them. But he ran across a real black American. And if you know, you know. Come on, bro. This in the paperwork. This ain't nothing I'm making up. This in the paperwork. This in the paperwork, dog. Look. I ain't making none of this stuff up. Them dudes was arrested for racist graffiti in high school. But they didn't talk about that. They went on the news to act like these two were angels. If you racist in high school, you got problems. If you racist in high school, you got problems. Everybody in high school, friends. You got white friends, Asian friends in high school. Everybody. If you racist in high school, something wrong, bruh. They're real black. Come on, bruh. If you racist in high school, bro, right? If you drawing racist graffiti, what was your parents teaching you, dog? But they love to talk about black parents. But every time we look at these situations, the black parents always put together. It's always the Caucasian, the racist Caucasian family that's always dysfunctional. Always. It never fails. This in the paperwork, bruh, that these dudes got arrested in high school for racist graffiti. Make it make sense. How evil you gotta be to be racist in high school? The bullies got more than they expected. That's a fact. One of them gone and one of them stuck like this. And I'm not laughing at Austin that he's gone because it's really his fault. It's his fault. It's his fault. But he's stuck. Karmelo might be in a physical prison, but they in a spiritual prison. Even when Karmelo get released with his retrial, they in a spiritual prison, bro. They can never escape. They can never escape. The daddy fall too. Hold on. Thank you for reminding me. Hold on. See, I didn't expect this live to be this long, but We taking it there because I got a video dropping tomorrow. So we taking it there. We taking it there. We taking it there.
Wait, if you were locked up at...
If you're struggling with depression,
This AI crap. This is what they do. They get a pretty looking chick to talk about if you're struggling with depression, come to the Church of Jesus Christ.org. To talk to Jesus, you're gonna have to pay $39.99. To talk to Jesus, you gotta pay $39.99. And then we can have the conversation. But if your card decline, you can't talk to Jesus, not today. You gotta wait till you get paid to talk to Jesus. You gotta wait till you get paid to talk to Jesus. Meet with us, churchofjesuschrist.org. Come on, bruh. This is AI. But it's a real website so they can get your money. But the only way you can talk to Jesus is if you got some money. If your card decline, you better go talk to the devil for free. You can't make this shit up, bro. Okay.
Why? And since he chose not to testify, I'll never know that answer.
You see? He says since Karmelo chose not to testify. Karmelo didn't chose not to testify. His attorneys with those crooked people made a decision. They the reason why he didn't testify. They all got together and made it to where he couldn't testify. But see, look, I told y'all, a physical prison, bro. They all got the same face. Look at that face. They can talk all they want about Karmelo and his family. Look at that face. That's a face of defeat. Now, this a man. Hold on. Let me pull it up. How you looking sad with all this money? Hold on. This time I show y'all money don't mean shit. When you lost a loved one. Money don't mean shit. Hold on. He raised $631,000. His goal is $1 million. $1 million. What you need $1 million for, son? You trying to come up off your son's death, dog? But then he looking like this. Today he looking like this. Today he looking like this. You got all that money can't save him. He know he messed up his sons. Look. His goal for his son's death. Mind you, the son wasn't living with him. The son was with the mother. But he wanted $1 million. So that's why the mother is not talking to Jeff for real. The fact that he did what he did back in the day too. But imagine somebody making more money than you from your son and you was raising your son. So he made way more money than the mother, bruh. That's why he keep going to these news outlets to talk. So he can keep raising money, keep getting people to feel sorry for him, bruh. But this is the same dude called Karmelo a watermelon felon, called Karmelo mama a drunk. What's it mean she a drunk? If she's drinking right now, you a drink too. Ain't no telling what you doing. You probably doing cocaine, buying ladies of the night. You probably doing all type of shit because your son not here no more. But imagine your innocent son is in prison for 35 years and the whole world against him. You a drink too. how somebody call you a subhuman, but they have no profile picture. DD, you might not even be real. What are you talking about? This gotta be illegal. He the biggest drunk. Exactly. I told you what raccoons do. I'm gonna show y'all too what raccoons do. Told y'all tomorrow we got a video on Charleston White. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I promise you, you're gonna love it. But raccoons and racist Caucasian people, tethers, whatever you want to call all these people, they all project. Whatever they going through, they project it onto everybody else. That's all they do, bruh. Love to project. That's all they do. So he's in a physical prison, bro. This the same dude in the limelight, in the public. He's saying he forgive the family, but he was going to Karmelo's father's job, and he got him fired. He was showing up to Karmelo's dad. He was going to his job, and he got Karmelo's dad fired, bro. Because he kept going to his job, dog. That's what he did. That's what he did. They ain't got no lips. They original. Exactly. Well, they've been doing pretty good for 250 years. Yeah, it looks like it. It's always projected. They're dysfunctional. That's it. If you ever lived around these people, bro, no money can save their misery. No money can save their kids' misery. No money. They can have all the money. Guess what? They daughter still going to the hood to go meet a dude who live in the projects. They son still going get some drugs. They kids was on drugs. These twins were on drugs, bruh. They were on drugs. If you live in a suburban area, you know, bruh, these kids, in my opinion, they worse than the kids in the hood. They just get away with a lot of shit. They get away because their parents know this person, their parents know the judge, their parents went to school with the sheriff. So they get away with a lot of shit. In the hood, you ain't get away with nothing. All they kids on drugs, especially today. What? They doing all type of shit today. Yeah. Come on, bruh. Thank you, brother, for your hard work. No problem, no problem. No problem. You gotta break this stuff down, man, because they use the media. They use the media to try to manipulate everybody. But we see through the BS now, you know? Salute, appreciate you. They do serious drugs in those. Oh, yeah, serious. Because money can't save them. They can make all the money they want. They can get all the degrees they want. That shit don't save, bruh. That shit don't do nothing, bruh. If you don't feel something within, that does nothing. That does nothing. They be in debt. They be in all type of debt. Just to keep up with the Joneses. Just to keep up. They making all this money, their kids hate them. Look what Jeff Metcalf and his girl was going. And look, ain't none of us perfect, bro. There's a lot of us, man, going through shit and with our kids and whatnot. Ain't none of us perfect, but when you get online and you talking about Jesus Christ, you talking about, bruh, your baby mama hates you. She hates you. You talk about a black family, but that family, you know how hard it is to keep a family together? You know how hard it is to keep a family together. I'm talking about from young age to older age. That's hard as hell. That's hard as hell. Some people survive, some don't. Most don't. But they'll make you think that it's black people. But you go do the research with the CDC. Even when black men are not in their kids' lives, like living with them. They still in their life for the most part, more than any other race. Black fathers. How many black fathers you know, bro? Like these days, the black fathers, for the most part, they stand in the home. But they'll never put the spotlight on these Caucasian people. But they want to make them the example of success. No, you got to live around them. You got to live around them for a little while and see what really go on. They kids on drugs. They kids hate their parents. They kids listen to Pooh Shiesty and Lil Durk. They kids listen to NBA Youngboy. Boy, I'm telling you, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. So don't be fooled by these content creators who tell you, oh, look at white people, man. Look what they do. They stick together. I ain't gonna lie, they do stick together. Right or wrong, they stick together. They not snitching. They not doing anything. So I can't admit that. But when they want to make them the example of success, that's from afar. You got to live around them. Even the raccoons who live around them, they act like they happy. But behind the scenes, they hate their neighbors. They don't talk. They neighbors jealous of them because the black family, they might have the cars, the garden, the nice yard, all this shit. And them white neighbors like, what the fuck? How they get all that? How they get all that? They jealous. It's always jealousy, bro. They saw Karmelo had that, like Dr. Umar be saying, he had that little snow bunny. Them white boys saw that online. They don't like that. They don't like that. And then he from Louisiana too. He from New Orleans. Come on, bro. Them girls in Texas probably love that little accent. Come on, bro. It's always jealousy. Even with Nolan, it's jealousy. Always. Why you think they always talking down on black women, bro? And look, ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody group, race, whatever is perfect, bro. But they love talk down on black women, but they want a tan. Everybody want big lips now. Everybody want to be thick now. Come on, bro. Y'all don't see this shit? They talk shit about black men all day. But let a rich Caucasian dude hire a black man to come cut the grass, cut his yard. His wife a stay-at-home wife. Eventually, she gonna tell him come inside for some water. And the black dude just trying to work. He just trying to work. And that's how you get cases of, oh, the black guy assaulted me. No, he didn't. You wanted him to assault you. You can't, I'm just being real today, bro. Today, Friday, I'm just being real, bro. This how this shit go. They hate on us the most. You wonder why these content creators who so-called, they got the nice home, the nice car. I'm a family man. I'm a family woman. But they always making content about black American people. They always making content about what goes on in the hood. You know why? They jealous. Because them cars can't buy you happiness. That house can't buy you happiness. That suburb area can't buy you happiness. Come on, bro. It's always jealousy, bro. That's why all they content, no matter where they at in life, they can have all the money in the world. They can be living good. But they making content about what goes on in the hood. They making content about black rappers. They making they got nothing to do with you. If you so happy, talk about things that's making you happy. Don't use your content to reach down to get cool points, to make money off of our culture or things that, the negative things of our culture. Don't do that. Come on. That's the only way they can make money, though, because the only way to make money is to talk about black Americans. They can't talk about white Americans. They can't talk about immigrants all day. The Africans can't get on here and talk about what's going on in Africa. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. The raccoons, they can't talk about, oh, I'm living in the suburbs. Look. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. We always gonna be the topic, bruh, where they talk about our people who they life not going so well right now, or are they hating on our people who got it together? We always go be the topic, bruh. We always go be the subject, no matter what. No matter what, dog. You got content creators who talking to you about what success is. You know what success is, bro? Success is when you can have no money and you still having your way. Like you having money. You still got people that love you. They put success in material shit on the outside of them, and that's why they never happy. That's why they never happy. But they could turn on the TV and see a second line going on in New Orleans, or turn on TikTok, and people just dancing, smiling, laughing. Their life might not be perfect, but every Sunday they go dance. While you making content about what's going on in the hood, in your penthouse. My bad, y'all. I done blacked out, bro. I done blacked out. They came out with a whole MAGA rap. Exactly. You had a time when they were talking about Pookie and Ray Ray. Don't be a Pookie and Ray, bro. You can say what you want, bro. If I go in, bro, it's gonna be deadly, bro. That's why I say, no matter what, bro, no matter what chapter you are in life, as a black American person, bro, they gonna always hate on you. They gonna always be jealous of the black woman. They gonna always be jealous of the black man. They gonna always be jealous of black teenagers, bro. Always. When black women start getting more degrees, start graduating, what they did? Oh, now degrees don't matter no more. Now degrees don't matter. Black men working. Oh, now we're gonna start laying off people. Now we gonna start laying off people. Come on, bro. Come on. They want us separated, man. They want you to get your money up. And ain't nothing wrong with moving away and stuff like that, man. I ain't saying that, but I'm just saying, hold on. They want you to get your money up and move away. Then they come in and gentrify where you grew up at and make it better. You feel me? That's their whole game plan, bro. That's their whole game plan. Because everything is, you gotta sip. I was thinking yesterday, we done with this. I was thinking yesterday, bro. Caucasian people really didn't create shit in this country. When you sit back and think about it, they didn't create anything. They piggybacked off of everything we created, everything our ancestors worked hard for. They piggybacked off it and they benefited from it. They didn't create anything. The only thing they created was laws to benefit them. How insurance, bro, when I learned how insurance started, I'm like, damn. All these banks today, they was trading our ancestors, bro, when they were slaves. All these banks, using them as collateral. You can't make this shit up. So you sit back and think, they haven't created anything. They only created laws to benefit them. That's it. And we the only group of people that fight back. So everybody mad at us because we fight back. But they trying to deport all of them. Everybody that's fighting for this system or they hate us, they trying to deport them. Think about this shit. They didn't create anything in this country, bruh. They piggybacked off of our ancestors. But they got the audacity to call you lazy. You're not lazy. They just created laws to benefit them. They created the credit system, insurance, so they can sit back and be lazy. Oh, man. Matter of fact, Alexa, I ain't gonna monetize this video. Alexa, play. Alexa, play. I ain't gonna monetize this video. I'm speaking from the heart. Alexa, turn it down 2 notches. I ain't gonna monetize it. I gotta speak from the heart, bro. I gotta speak from the heart. I gotta speak from the fucking heart on this shit, bro. We ain't gonna monetize this, bro. It ain't about the money. It ain't about the money, bro. They call you lazy, but they created laws so they can be lazy. Come on, bro. But they can sit back and call you lazy and try to compare their success to your success. Man, don't be out here comparing yourself to Caucasian people, bro. Let them do what they do. Our success is being cool with our family. Our success is being able to go to the second line and dance. Our success is our success, bro. Don't compare yourself to these people. Don't try to keep up with these people, bro. Because the rules not the same. I was about to say, you made Alexa play. I ain't gonna monetize this video, bro. I'm just speaking from the heart now, bro. It's always jealousy. And now you got more raccoons. And people who know I can't say take the RAC off. So we just call it, I started saying raccoons first though, but like I say, I ain't that person to be. I ain't gonna say that shit. But raccoons, bro, it's a lot of raccoons popping out now. They all got rabies. But trust me, man, that anger with raccoons come from they not happy. Because if you married, you got kids, and you happy, bro, you not online every day mad. You talking about what's going on with your family. Trust me, if I was married, I got kids, bro, I'm chilling, I'm having fun with my family. You gonna see me with my family. But them raccoons don't be happy, bro. They be miserable. It's not normal to be a raccoon. It's not normal to be a raccoon, bro. It's not normal. Everything they got is stolen. Come on, bro. Come on, Sherry. That's a fact. Everything they got is stolen. That's why they never happy. They can get all the success in the world, and they still go unalive the whole family. When one thing go bad, they go unalive the whole family. They never happy. And I ain't say happy, I'm gonna say joy. They never have joy, because joy lasts longer than happiness. They never have joy. They came from the fallen, man. Steal, kill, and destroy. What that sound like? What that sound like? But now they got a lot of Caucasian people that's speaking against their own people now. They didn't expect that shit. That racism shit, bro, is getting exposed more and more. More and more, bro. I don't know if y'all see it, but I see it. But everything is based off of jealousy. But they can't get rid of us. You know why? We keep this country spinning. Don't nobody spend money like us. We keep the economy going. We keep the economy going. And I'm on my platform, especially when you come to like New Orleans and stuff like that. I'm trying to get my people to see it's time to start spending money, especially with the holidays coming up. We got Thanksgiving coming up. And look, I don't care if you don't celebrate holidays. I don't care. To me, if you celebrate it, spend that money with your people. Spend that money with your people this holiday season. Don't go broke with these fake sales with these Caucasian people, bruh. They don't rock with you. They hate us because I'm telling you, it's all hatred, bruh. And like I say, you could have money, you could be doing good. Like, I'm living here now, and my neighbors, what you do, man? What you do, man? I drive dump trucks, bruh. I'm a dump truck driver. I pick up trash, dog. That's what I do early in the morning. What you do, man? What you do? They nosy as hell. They say they hate our culture, but every black city they trying to infiltrate. Every black city they trying to infiltrate. They love our history. Oh, New Orleans, it's so historical. I'm moving. I'm gonna get this many houses. They trying to infiltrate all our history, bruh. They already did it with the highways. These people put interstates. Because we didn't just have one Black Wall Street, bruh. We had multiple Black Wall Streets. You know what they did? I'm going to show you what they did. We ain't monetizing this shit. We just talking. I'm looking for a lady. I want to know. Is it you? Highway. Let's see. Looking for a certain video. I'm looking for a lady. Is it you, baby? Alexa, pause. Let's show some history, man. We ain't monetizing this shit. Let's just rock out. Let's rock out, man. Let's rock out. Let's speak from the heart. We would monetize tomorrow video. Today we just go speak from the heart.
I made an appointment.
This is an historic neighborhood, as you well know. This is ground zero for the story of jazz.
Yeah.
And gentrification happens everywhere. Brooklyn and New York and London's got its gentrification. But what's happened down here has been pretty brutal, in my opinion. But this culture that Ben is so marvelously maintaining is still very, very strong.
Food, music, laughter, and an energy that would seep down into your pores and flow out of your soul. That's how musician John Richardson describes the Tremaine neighborhood, and it's what led him to the community. But today, the sound of children playing in the streets has been replaced by the sound of suitcases. They take the
Somebody just called me. What the hell?
Here's part 2 of my special report, Death of a Neighborhood, Survival of a Culture.
See, when people come to New Orleans, I'm probably do a whole live about this too. When people come to New Orleans, bro, everybody go to the French Quarter. They go on Bourbon Street. But the real culture is outside of that, bro. And that's probably in every major black city. You know, that setup is probably in every major black city. But I just want y'all to see what they did, bro. Just because they was hating. I told y'all, like, it's always hatred and jealousy. We had black Wall Streets in every state. In every black city, it was a black Wall Street, bro. It wasn't just in Oklahoma. But they did certain things to mess that up. The crack era, heroin. They put the drugs in the community and they take away the jobs to force you to survive. All by design. And then they come through in the 60s, 70s and stuff like that. And they put these interstates right through the middle of the black community, bro. To take away the black businesses. This happened all over the country, not just in New Orleans. All over the country. Go do your research, wherever you from. Go do your research, man. And the shit will shock you. The hatred and the jealousy they have for black Americans, dog.
Place Publique, a public place that focused on its Congo Square, was known by the Spaniards from the 1760s when they took over Louisiana as Plaza de los Negros, black place.
Now this is where I was for Juneteenth. I went to the Congo Square for Juneteenth.
But of course, become known later as Congo Square, where the indigenous were allowed to congregate.
Square surroundings are ever evolving. As many say, attempts to modernize New Orleans came at the expense of Treme.
Oh no, I'm just showing y'all how damn it, she quit today. She leave. I think she about to get a job in Los Angeles. But I'm just showing y'all, like, from the Karmelo Anthony situation, I'm just showing y'all how much hatred they always have in this country for black American people. Even when we was doing good, they messed that up by putting these highways through the black community. So when that didn't work, when we still got together, you know what they did? They came behind that and put crack in our community with the heroin. You see? This the hatred and the jealousy, bro, that they have for our people, man. And this, like I say, this just didn't happen in New Orleans. This happened in every black neighborhood, every black city in this country.
We are rolling right now. Dr. Eric Johnson is the president of Urban Regeneration Advisors. When talking about the forces that took down Treme, he says they were swift and unforgiving.
Treme has always been, since the end of the 19th century, pretty much a area that started out facing development pressures.
Treme is the neighborhood where jazz was invented. Jazz was invented in Treme, New Orleans. So when people come to New Orleans, they just go to the first quarter. They don't even know about Treme. Jazz was invented in Treme, in New Orleans. That's where jazz came from.
When you look at a neighborhood and what took it down, it's never one thing, it's a gumboard thing. But I can tell you unequivocally, nothing traumatized the Treme more than the building of the I-10.
North Claiborne was home to a bustling business district. It was estimated more than 120 businesses ran along the corridor and hundreds of oak trees. But to build the highway, the state took over several properties along Claiborne between Tulane and St. Bernard Avenue. Some refer to it as the monster.
So Claiborne was like the Black Wall Street. Like, they go explain it to y'all, but now our people still on Claiborne. So like every Sunday they'll go under the bridge and you will have, like, you know, people dancing, food and stuff like that. So we still do it, but now it's under the bridge. But back then it wasn't no bridge. You know, it's crazy, man. Listen.
The building of the I-10 overpass over North Claiborne sent the business district into economic decline. Today, only a few dozen businesses still stand. Charbonnet Funeral Home is one of them, sitting along Claiborne Avenue since 1883.
It ran all the family-owned black businesses away. What Magazine Street is now, Claiborne Avenue used to be like that. I mean, with all kind of African American.
So I'm gonna put y'all on game, bro. I'm gonna give y'all some history that these tour guys don't give you. So Magazine Street is like, when you go over there, it's just Caucasian. You know, they got they bars and shit, they restaurants. It's just they Caucasian area. But like he was saying, back in the day, that was Claiborne. That was our people. We had our own businesses, all that shit. We didn't have to deal with the Caucasian people at all. We had our own shit. You feel me? Savannah, yeah. So when y'all just coming to New Orleans to get drunk, and bro, come here and you go learn some shit, bro. You go learn some shit. And there's still black businesses here, bro. I'm talking about real black. It's not too many cities today that you can go to and find real black American businesses, dog. I'm talking about restaurants, all type of stuff, like real legit. It been this way in New Orleans, but it used to be more. But little by little, they did things to wipe it out. Hurricane Katrina, with the blowing up the levees and stuff. Hurricane Betsy, blowing up the levees. Little by little, they did things. Putting the highway, the crack era. And they still can't, we still majority in New Orleans. It's still majority black American people here. They can't wipe us out. So let's carry on.
Own businesses, insurance companies, grocery stores, all that left when the interstate came along.
Black people had their own insurance companies, bro. Think about this shit. Hold on, we gonna rewind it back.
Relax.
I like my lives, bro. Like, so, I be planning on doing one thing, and then we just go a whole nother direction. I love that shit. Hold on.
Black businesses away. What Magazine Street is now, Claiborne Avenue used to be like that. I mean, with all kind of African American owned businesses, insurance companies, grocery stores, all that left when the interstate came along.
The elevated highway plan proposed in the 40s was to include Claiborne Avenue and a highway that would have gone from Elysian Fields along the riverfront and fronted Jackson Square to Canal Street. It would then descend into a tunnel. It would have been called the Vieux Carré Riverfront Expressway, but French Quarter preservationists fought that plan for decades. In 1969, they won their battle. But the opposition of those living in Treme wasn't enough to stop the plans from moving forward there. In 1966, crews began to destroy the neutral ground, replacing oak trees with tall cement pillars.
It was the thing that projected me to go into politics and got elected to the legislature because we had no voice. We had nobody in government who was standing up for our community. This is a very old, antique horse-drawn carriage.
Former Representative Louis Charbonnet III served in this.
So New Orleans, I'm telling you, bro, this, hold on, let me read your comments. Watch the cities that black people who they ran out of New Orleans, went to a whole bunch of them, came to my hometown. Oh shit, watch the cities. Okay. See, I love watching this type of shit, bro. Like, I just love history because history tells you what's gonna happen and what they did and why everything is the way it is, bro. That's why I love history so much, because it's so important for what's going on today. Because all these racist system does, they just repeat the same cycles over and over. Like I told y'all, they don't invent anything. They steal everything. Everything. And they put in the books, Christopher Columbus found North America. Come on, bro. You can't make this shit up. And VR Interstate was built through right in the middle of oh yeah. See, I want y'all after this live, go look up South Baton Rouge, like how it was back in the day. South Baton Rouge was a black Wall Street, bro. But they ruined it on purpose to make it what it is today. Go look at what South Baton Rouge is, man. Why you think Boosie is the way he is? You know, like, of course, he not perfect, but why you think he's just so community oriented and family? Because, like, their bloodline, bro, South Baton Rouge was a black Wall Street, bro. It was important to Baton Rouge, but they ruined that on purpose. On purpose. Like Florida, as soon as they get straight to Miami, but they ain't. Liberty City over town. See? So was Scotlandville. Exactly. I saw people yesterday on Instagram talking about how bad Scotlandville look right now. You know why it look bad? Because it's black people that's trying to do something with Scotlandville. But the people in position of power are not letting them. They stopping them from building. They doing all type of stuff to keep the black side down. But you go to the white community, they thriving. It's all by design, bruh. It's all hatred. It's all jealousy. Overtown is black Southerners, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Come on, man. That's why I love history so much, bruh, because it's going to tell you why something is the way it is today and what we got to do differently, you know?
House from 1972 to 1984.
And we used to have kids playing, and we had the neutral ground on Clayton Avenue, which was the largest and prettiest neutral ground in the city, where we used to play and had oak trees and azaleas, and it was just a wonderful place to grow up in.
Today, the only sign of oak trees are those painted on the pillars beneath the highway.
Claiborne Avenue.
Dr. Raynard Sanders and other preservationists started the Claiborne Avenue History Project as a way to remember what this street was to Chumay.
And every community has a commercial hub. Now in New Orleans, we had several of them that serviced the black community, but none like Claiborne Avenue. You had black businesses, mostly. You had some white businesses too. Everything you could find right here on Claiborne Street.
In attempts to right the wrongs of the interstate, there have been federally funded studies to examine how to bring North Claiborne Avenue back to its original glory. Dr. Sanders participated in one study with the Claiborne Avenue design team meant to bring back business. What was the result of the study? What did they do with it?
I put it on the shelf, didn't hear any more about it. And in essence, you know, they were just giving money to the community to quiet us down because we were complaining.
Even if the elevated highway was taken down, most feel the damage is irreparable.
I don't think it can ever come back unless there's a concerted effort to open up opportunities for those businesses to return. All right? Physically, that is not something that has happened.
When did you first notice the big change happening in Tremaine that affected residents here?
Well, the first change was when Armstrong Park came along, when they ran all those people away. And,
Congo Square and everything else?
Congo Square is where the auditorium is, where the Tremaine Community Center is.
Who's our comments? They just completed a documentary in Raleigh, North Carolina, that all of your large areas are sitting on slave burial sites. Wow. Let me screenshot that. Oh yeah, bro. I told y'all earlier. Caucasian people haven't created anything in this country, bro. They wrote on the piggybacks of us. They wrote off the piggybacks of our hard work. And they created laws to benefit them so their family can be lazy. But they call their family powerful. They're not powerful. They just created laws to make themselves seem that way. That's all they did. But got the audacity to call you lazy. No, we ain't going for that. We ain't going for that. None of this would be like this if they would never built those interstates in the black community. We would all grew up with black businesses. We would have seen, we would have grown up seeing a lot of black people as entrepreneurs, bro. We would have seen that. But they was hating so hard because they couldn't understand how a people that was enslaved got out of slavery and start buying land, start buying homes. They couldn't understand that shit. Our people were still running circles around them, just like we're doing today. They still gotta create stuff. Oh, degrees don't mean anything no more. Oh, now y'all getting laid off. Oh, now we go say TikTok, you can't get paid on TikTok. Bro, you know how many black people on TikTok who was becoming rich off of TikTok, bro? You know how many black people who was getting rich off of TikTok, dog? Before the United States brought TikTok, do you know how many black people who was getting rich off of TikTok? They had to change that shit. Too many black people was getting money. You know how many black athletes was coming out of high school getting rich? They had to change that shit. No matter what they do, we find a way to run circles around them, bruh. That's why I go so hard on YouTube. Like, I treat this shit like it's a job. Sometimes I have fun, like you know, because I don't monetize all my videos. Like, some videos, I just speak from the heart and have fun, bro. You know, today, Friday, I just go off script sometimes, dog. They also flooded black towns. Come on. And it was the same lie. Oh, they assaulted a white woman. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. That was y'all excuse so y'all can flood. Then some of them in the Oscarville, Georgia flood, they used the United States Army to flood our people out. Boy, the game is cold, boy. They trying to figure out a way to get black people off of TikTok, but they can't. That's a fact. Come on, bro. Without our people, everything would be boring. It wouldn't be anything without our people, bro. You know? Let's carry on. Damn, this dude still on TV? He on Save the Other Bell, something like that.
The expressway wasn't the first assault of May. The state and federal government implemented urban renewal plans that would displace hundreds of African American families from their homes. Why do you feel as though Tremaine was considered dispensable?
You look at the notion of, well, there are African Americans there, people of color that's free. You know, some people would not necessarily place a higher value.
So I told y'all last time, they always want to preach to us about slavery, but they never tell you about the free people of color. As much slaves there was more free people of color. Black people who wasn't raccoons and they wasn't going for that slavery shit. Black people who was getting money. Money ran in a family. So they moved to the Tremaine neighborhood. It's not that far from me. They moved to the Tremaine neighborhood and they was buying homes. You could look it up, bro. It's in the books. I wish I could show y'all the book. It's in my phone though. But it's in the books, bro. Our people was buying mansions, was buying nice homes back then. But they'll never make movies about free people of color. They'll never make movies about that. They just want you to show you the slavery side. Because they show you our people who wasn't raccoons, who was getting money. You gonna be like, what the hell? You gonna start getting ideas. If they show you how many slave revolts we had, you gonna start getting ideas. So they can't show you that. They can't talk about that. They just want you to think that our people never fought back. Our people did fight back. That's why they had, that's why we got out of slavery. Because, you know why? We started murdering the slave master and their family. That's why slavery ended, not Abraham Lincoln. Our ancestors start white. Bro, go do your research. If I'm lying, Tell me I'm lying. They ended slavery, quote unquote, because our ancestors started murdering the slave masters. I think they started like in Virginia somewhere or South Carolina, one of them states. It was one of them states where it really started getting crazy. And in New Orleans, it got crazy too. Yeah. That's why slavery ended, bro, on paper, because Abraham Lincoln didn't end that shit. It wasn't him, bro. It was our ancestors. They started to murder slave masters, bro. But they don't talk about that part, bro. And they dress fine and classy. What? Facts. Facts. They hate it so much, bro. In Louisiana, they made it to where the black women couldn't show their hair. That's how much I told y'all, bro. It's all hatred. So when you see people making content about black people, you know why? They really want to be a part. They really want to be a part of something. That's why. Because if you don't care about something, why you keep talking about it? It was a law in Louisiana where black women couldn't show their hair. That's how much hatred they had, bro. They couldn't show their natural hair because they hated on. So that's why they start calling y'all hair nappy. But if you think about it, nappy hair is the most healthy hair. Bro, you can't make this shit up. Nappy hair is the strongest and the most healthy hair. Come on. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. If you got nappy hair, your hair is the healthiest, the strongest. It's when you start putting that perm in your hair, that's when it's thin. It's the weakest. It may look good, but it's thin. It's the weakest. But when your hair is nappy, man, that shit's strong as hell. They hated on that, bruh. So they turned the word nappy to make it bad, to make people embarrassed of their hair, dog. Come on, bruh. This the games they play, man. Facts. My nappy dreads are healthy. Exactly. That's the healthiest hair. How ironic. Nappy hair is the healthiest hair, but they make jokes about it. How ironic. How ironic that big lips, I got big lips, but now all the Caucasian girls putting shots in their lips to get big lips. How ironic. How ironic Caucasian girls want to be thick now. How ironic Caucasian people want to get tans. They want a tan. Wait, I thought you loved being white. We cooking, bro. We cooking, dog. We cooking.
For you on individuals living in those neighborhoods.
Gentrification of the Treme neighborhood would begin with the building of the municipal auditorium, tearing down the historic Treme market. That was in the 30s. Each decade after, urban renewal projects targeted Treme and surrounding communities. Do you believe that the city of New Orleans or the federal government played a role in its demise?
New Orleans was no different than any other city in terms of urban renewal, this sort of concept of removal of blight for issues and causes that may not necessarily have been the case. So the long answer to that question is, I would say yes.
Initially thought of in the 20s.
First super chat, let's go. Hey, is it great to have it's great to have knowledge and know about your black culture, but isn't it a shame the leading cause of death for young black people, homicide? Dennis, I broke that down before, but it's a reason why it's like that, bro. It all starts from poverty, dog. Poverty, closing down schools, laying off people, laying off a certain group of people. Go do your research on that certain group of people. Closing down schools for a certain group of people. Go do your research on that certain group of people. It's all by design, bro. It's all by design, man. Katie Green, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for this 27. I really appreciate that. Abraham Lincoln didn't do us any favors. He needed us to save the union. That's a fact. The subconscious envy, jealousy from feeling like they're playing the game with the game genie cheats. Come on, man. Catching cancer trying to look like our beautiful, bruh, it's crazy. The most healthiest hair is nappy hair. That's the healthiest hair. That's the strongest hair. The strongest. But they make jokes about it. Come on.
Plans to build a cultural complex in the space that now houses Armstrong Park resurfaced in the 60s. Dozens of city blocks in Treme were leveled.
It was supposed to be the opera center, and that didn't work. And they talked about making an amusement type park like Tivoli Gardens in Europe, and that didn't work. And now it's just an open space, which is nice, but it used to be homes.
Another point of contest was the fencing of the park.
And I think that that community also felt very betrayed because there was never going to be a fence. It was really kind of sold to Treme, like this would be a beautiful green space that will be integrated into the neighborhood, and that didn't happen. And so it almost, you can see it when you drive down the street, right? It almost feels like there's a wall between Armstrong Park and Treme.
Treme residents were fed up.
Interstate comes along on Claiborne Street, wipes out our businesses. The park comes along, takes away all our businesses, and what happens to us? We get unemployment.
The Treme Community Improvement Association formed in 1969, fighting back against further destruction or displacement in the historic neighborhood under the guise of urban renewal. But it was too late. Historians estimate more than 400 families were now scattered throughout the city.
The place was torn up, folk were displaced.
I met him. Okay. I met him. I went to this like as soon as I got down here. I met him. I gotta go back and show him this. I got a picture. I'm gonna post on my community post. I took pictures of him, man. Bro. But nah. So everything you see today that's wrong with our community, bro. If they would have never did all this and left us the hell alone, bro. If they would have left us alone, bro, we wouldn't be in this mess, dog. You wouldn't see all this crime and stuff in our community. You wouldn't see that because we'll be thriving. And you see how black people are when they get money. You seen it in 2020 with the PPP loan and the other stuff, the other money people was getting, bruh. It wasn't no crime, bruh. People was in Miami. People was partying. People was having happy. Everybody was laughing. Group chat was popping. The family group chat was popping. Everybody's just happy. Because they know money, with money, bro, everybody happy. Businesses, everybody happy. They know that. So they created poverty. They did these things to put our people in poverty. And then when we talk about it, oh, stop complaining. Like, damn. You know?
Overnight. Oh, they went to overdoses. That would not happen to any other neighborhood where we don't live.
It's still traumatic for the community and for people who had family here. So when that happened, you lost some of all the beautiful architectural buildings and bars and houses.
Construction projects and urban renewal left the community scrambling fabric that made it a community. And then the perfect storm opened the floodgates to a new wave of issues, leaving Treme clinging on to what's left of its culture. And we continue our series tomorrow on Eyewitness News at 10 as we explore.
I think today she just quit. She about to move to I forgot her name, but she about to move to I think LA. She about to get a job in LA. So shout out to her, man. But this live took a turn, but I'm just showing y'all all this just to show y'all, man. It's always hatred. It's always jealousy. Always. But we have to make sure that we stick together. We have to make sure that we don't just keep giving our money to these people, bro. You know? Let me read our comments. That's why they had to whitewash the Bible, because Jesus, all the prophets, come on, that's a fact. We were doing too well making our own townships after eight. Exactly, man. Our people been getting money, but they'll never show you movies about that. They go only show you slavery. They go show you our people who was getting money, but they wouldn't like raccoons and kissing ass and shit. They ain't gonna show you that because that's gonna motivate you. But it's in the books. Like I say, they put that stuff in the books because they know a lot of our people not gonna read those history books. But they got a book, bro. It shows you the year and the name of the free person of color, the black person who bought a home, man. It got their names in the books. I saw the one for New Orleans. I saw it with my own eyes, bro. In the 1800s, our people was buying big homes, and the home's still here. The home's still here. Our people was buying those homes, man. We been owning stuff. We been creating stuff. We been had our own businesses, dog. They just did things to ruin that. It's crazy, man. So, hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. This live took a crazy turn, but I don't know. I like my lives like that, you know? We just speak from the heart, bro. You know? Happy Friday. Tomorrow, I got a video dropping for sure. It's already done. So we got video dropping tomorrow. Y'all gonna like that shit. Y'all gonna like that shit, you know? This was a great live, man. Like I say, I love I'm about to go watch some more stuff. I just love history, dog, and just how our people were they was thriving, like, and it was a community, you know? I just love seeing that, bro. You know? Well, okay, Grandma bought 40 acres almost 200 years ago. Come on. Come on. That's motivation, bro. See, if you got kids, nephews, and nieces, start giving them books like that to show them how they people own stuff. Let them read books like that. So as they get older, they got a pride about themselves, you know? They got a pride. They don't just want to work for somebody. They want to own some shit. You know? Start showing them books like that, what our elders did, what our ancestors did, how they was thriving back then. Start showing them documentaries like that, so they can grow up with that, you know, with that energy, with their chest out, you know. If it has versatile as well, it's a fact. All right, y'all. Enjoy y'all Friday, man. Be safe. Don't drink too much. I'm out.